Welcome back to the Scooter Spot. This is Ryan. Today we're reviewing the GoTrax G4, one of GoTrax's higher end models. We're gonna hit on the price, the key stats, the features, the ride, and who I recommend this for. Let's get into it. So before I get into the specifics, I just wanna say that this is a scooter I highly recommend. I was just testing this with my girlfriend. She was riding the G-Max Ultra, I was riding the G4, and it's just a ton of fun to ride. We were riding it in the city streets, city bike lanes, and the speed, the acceleration, the power, really everything about the scooter is just perfect for riding it in a city. Starting off our review with the price, the GoTrax G4 comes in at $650, and for a bona fide commuter scooter, one that goes 20 miles per hour, this is a great, fair price. Now looking into the key stats of the scooter, the GoTrax G4 tops out at 20 miles per hour, which makes it a lot of fun. It has a 350 watt motor, which does surprisingly well on hills, and it has up to 25 miles of range advertised by GoTrax, and you get a little bit less than that in real world conditions and depending on where you ride the scooter. Now looking at the features of the G4 and starting off at the top with the handlebars. Looking at the handlebars themselves, you have this nice knurled texture on the handlebars, and for the speed you're going, it's nice to have something with a lot of grip. Moving inward, we have a nice brake and a nice bell. The bell is very easy to actuate, which I like. On the left, we have a couple of features with these buttons, plus and minus to change the gear and do a couple of other things with information on the screen like locking the scooter. And we also have the power button. Then on the right, we have a traditional throttle, and this feels great to actuate as well. It's very easy to push it down, let go, just the right size for a throttle. Now moving inward to the screen, with this small screen, we get a lot of features. First, there's a locking feature, so it's an electronic lock. You can enter your passcode, unlock it, so it's a nice feature with security. You can change your gear, first gear topping at 20 miles per hour. I always just leave it on 20 miles per hour. And then you can see things like your speed and battery. Now moving down just a little bit to this hook and locking mechanism. I think GoTrax does hooks just about the best out of any scooter company. They're nice and big, which means first off, it's easy to lock into the bottom here. But second, because the hook's so big, it's easy to just hang things on here and add some more functionality to the scooter. Now moving down to the bottom of the tiller, we see two things, the folding and the locking mechanism. So starting off with the locking mechanism, this is something I love. It's super convenient to have the lock built into the scooter and be able to just lock it there without having to take something with you. This is a wire lock though, so I know there's gonna be some different opinions on this. For some people, they're gonna feel confident using this. Others are gonna want more of a standard U-lock. But for me, I'm confident with this. I like it, so it's a nice feature. Now looking at the folding mechanism, I also think GoTrax does folding extremely well. So here we have a little mechanism where you pull up this switch, and then you can pull it down, and then unlocks the tiller, and you can fold it down and guide it into this hook here very easily. When you take it back up, there's also something I want to note. When we take it back up, you fold it up, and you kind of have this soft lock here. So it doesn't secure the scooter, but then when it's up, it just makes it easier to fully lock because it holds it there for you, and then you can lock it back up. Now moving over to the base of the scooter, it has a nice baseboard, plenty of width for your feet. I had no issue standing on the scooter and feeling plenty comfortable. Looking at the kickstand, I thought the kickstand had no issue going up and down, but my girlfriend wanted me to call out that she specifically had issues with it. So maybe if you have smaller feet, it might be a little bit more difficult to kick this down. Switching over to talking about the ride, let's start with talking about the tires. The GoTrax G4 has 10-inch tires, which are huge for an electric scooter, and they go a long way into making the ride super smooth. Talking about the ride in general, the G4 is a super fun scooter to ride, especially because it goes up to 20 miles per hour. And it hits this 20 miles per hour pretty consistently. Thinking about the acceleration isn't so fast that you're gonna feel like, you're flying off the handlebars, but it accelerates just about the way you'd expect it to and that you would hope it to. So I had no issues getting up to 20 miles per hour and feel like I was getting there in a reasonable amount of time. Switching over to the hill climbing ability, I was very impressed with the way that this thing handled hills. A lot of scooters struggle with hills and really slow down, but the G4 took them with no problem. The only thing I will say though is, and we were going up pretty steep hills, something like 30, 35-degree inclines, was that when it was taking on hills, it was going up to 18 miles per hour. It's not the full 20 miles per hour. Now, the last thing I want to call out with the ride, and probably the only negative I have for the entire scooter, is that the braking is really strong, maybe even too strong. Because of this, I found myself kind of feathering the brakes and kind of going on and off with the brakes to slow down rather than holding it down and consistently going to a nice, gentle stop. So overall, the G4 is a super fun scooter to ride. It takes hills well, it takes speeds well, and you feel right at home in the roads. So the GoTrax G4, this is a scooter I really love. I'm having a ton of fun riding it, but who do I recommend this for specifically? So the first person I recommend it for is someone riding around in city streets. Keywords here is in the streets. Up until now, I've mostly ridden scooters that go up to 15 miles per hour because I've been riding on trails and sidewalks. 15 miles per hour is perfect here because that's really as fast as you can go. You need to go around people, you need to navigate around other bikes, and anything faster doesn't really help you out. But now that I moved to the city, now that I want to ride around in the streets, 20 miles per hour is perfect for that environment. You feel right at home with the cars because you can go as fast as they can go because there's a lot of lights. No one's really flying through the city. So a lot of times you're going faster than the cars are because you can weave in and out of traffic, you can go in bike lanes, you can go on sidewalks, you can cross the crosswalks. So GoTrax G4 is perfectly built for a city environment with a lot of lights. The second person I recommend this for, and this is kind of just a caveat, is someone who's ridden an electric scooter before. 20 miles per hour might not sound that fast because, you know, cars going 25 miles per hour is pretty slow. But on a scooter, 20 miles per hour is very fast and you feel like you're going very fast. So you want to be a little more experienced, and when you're riding this, you definitely want to be a little more careful. You must wear a helmet when going this fast, and you want to be careful when braking. You want to brake, lean back, and make sure the scooter is not, going forward. But overall, the GoTrax G4 is a bona fide commuter scooter, goes up to 20 miles per hour, and it's perfect for those city environments. From the first moment I opened up the GoTrax G4 and took it for my first ride, I knew this was a scooter I was going to recommend. The 20 miles per hour is just a game changer for scooters. Because you're going that fast, you feel right at home in the roads, you feel like you can keep up with the cars, and a lot of times you feel like you're going faster than them. So the GoTrax G4 is the perfect scooter for someone commuting in a city environment. What do you think of the GoTrax G4? Let me know in the comments below, and we hope to see you next time.